Outer World podcast. And today we have Nick,
Hey,
we have Zay,
Hey, y'all.
and Quinn,
Hey,
and then myself, Dylan. And today we were going to discuss about what's going on in Russia right now. And it looks pretty messed up. Like, imagine protesting and you have to pay 20,000 rubles.
20,000 rubles.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of rubles because rubles are not jack shit. Do you know anything else on it, Zay?
I'm not too sure about why it all started, but attention seems to be around uh, blogger Alexei Navalny. It's just he keeps reporting on the corruption inside of Russia, and I guess they're just trying to stop it. Uh, I think he's been poisoned already, and they're trying to blame the government.
Oh shit.
But it's crazy though, because the only reason they're blaming the government is because for the poisoning is he was just experiencing effects, and these effects are like only known to happen from a nerve agent made by Russia. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it was G or no, what was it? Novichok. And he was on a plane and he just started getting like a loss of breath, asphyxiating, and then I guess he went into a coma. But I guess asphyxiation is just like one of the symptoms of Novichok because yeah, it's one of the strongest nerve agents. It's like 7 times more potent than VX. And his body was just overstimulated, and that's how they pretty much tie it to the Russian government.
Damn. Seems like everywhere is fucking protesting.
But that's crazy though that they have like such a closed outlet on the media. Like they control like what goes in and out. They have to like review it. Like it's not as strict as North Korea, but still they're
Still kind of close.
yeah. It's like everything has to be a fucking conspiracy.
Get this, guys. $1 is worth 73 rubles. That's fucked.
20,000 rubles is
Ooh,
$270.
Jesus, dude. So pretty much, they're all these protesters that are gonna get caught are just gonna be in debt or jail for the fucking probably the rest of their life.
So you say it's 4,000 rubles. 20,000 is around 200, so that's maybe like what, not even $50.
Yeah. Yeah, watch. I'll show you guys the thing
That's
in the
fucked
chat.
up.
Yeah, dude, when you think about it, because all you're trying to do is just protest, have your speech, but you're gonna get fined. Like, imagine just getting fined $20,000 or 20,000 rubles. And then they also are required to do like 15 days in jail. That's fucked up. And then what? The dudes, they're protesting about Navlin. I don't even know how to fucking pronounce his name.
Volny.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been going on for like a while about him, about the corruption going on and everything.
Okay,
But
but now it's just starting to get a little crazy.
yeah, cause the elections are coming up in September, so shit's kind of getting a little real. Cause Navalny was running for president at one point, but he's just gaining a lot of political power. Like, cause a lot of people are with him too, cause they'll support him, but it's the government, I guess, that's coming after these news outlets, and he's already gone through maybe like over at least 8 different news outlets just trying to get all this shit out.
Looking at Novichok, there's so many like cases of people being poisoned with it. It has here a Novichok agent was used in 1995 to poison Russian banker Ivan Kibilidi, who died days later in a hospital. March 12th, 2018, the UK government said it was used in an attack on the English city of Salisbury. There's another where they said it was police had been poisoned with the same nerve agent as ex-Russian spy Sergei Skripal, and the list goes on.
Jesus Christ. Dude, it seemed, I don't know. I just feel like I keep hearing another new country protesting, and another one, and another one, and another one.
Imagine getting a Novichok nerve agent shit on you by it being on your underwear like they did to Alexei.
What?
It says a member of the FSB had gone to Alexei's hotel room and planted it on his underwear.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty fucked up.
It's just a drop will kill you within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Going back to it though, it's just like I said, it was crazy how they're just so silenced about it. But another reason for the protest going on is because I guess supposedly they found this big old castle on the shore of the Black Sea, and there's just a lot of poverty going on in Russia at this point. But yet they're blaming Putin for having all this money and spending it on support casino inside of it. I'm not too sure about the amusement park part, but I mean, you pretty much get the point, though. It's like, why is he spending this money on this when he could be distributing it out? But one of his billionaire associates or friends or homies or whatever they do, he just came forward and started saying that it was his. So everybody started saying that that's still kind of fishy because even if you look at everything that Putin has, he has like a 1.2, like not even, I think, $1 billion yacht, and just like all the artifacts that he has in his possession, and there's reported. It's just
The thing that's got me a little fucked is with, like, after the whole COVID thing happened, with how much quicker that poverty is getting and escalating. Like, the gap between poor and rich is really getting a huge gap now ever since COVID has, like, started. Like, you look at a lot of these poor countries in Asia, and, like, they're losing their shit too because of the poverty. And then, like, America's giving relief money to other countries, but they're not helping their people. They're just like, fuck it, bro, we got more money. Let's pump up our security and guns and shit. It's almost like a trend in a way.
it's kind of the collapse of a civilization that they're saying too, because like I think around a certain amount of years, a civilization collapses on itself.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's like might just be the natural cycle, man.
I mean, the Romans, I think, were the ones to actually go past it, but eventually even they did too. But I mean, no, that proves nothing regardless. I mean, shit happens and you'll get in tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah. Getting really interesting though, just seeing how everything's escalating slowly.
It's just funny that they laced his underwear with that shit out of everything. At first they were blaming it on his water bottle. I forgot what else they're blaming it on too, but out of everything. I think he's been poisoned twice. I'm not too sure.
And wait, what's the poison called again?
Novichok, so it's gonna be Novichok.
Is this where Call of Duty came up with their Nova?
Maybe, but Novichok just generally means like newcomer, so it's like just any variant of like a fourth generation nerve agent.
Okay.
I mean, it's specific to nerve
Fuck.
agents, but it's like a broad name for them.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of different kinds I see right here. What, they just fucking poison their own fucking people with it?
Yeah, whistleblowers and anyone who's potentially creating propaganda.
It's been happening for a while. Could go either way.
But you said the elections are coming up. And that's usually why.
I mean,
Huh?
it's not that like Putin's hated exactly in Russia. I mean, there's a considerable amount of people that are in favor of things he's doing.
But then there's the other half that are like totally not with it.
Yeah, it's just a large. It's a very large nation, but I still haven't searched too much into the bad things he's done. Honestly, I mean, that's what really rose my attention is because people were complaining about that estate they're being on the coast of the Black Sea.
Yeah, I'm sure that would piss people off. He's been in office for quite a while too.
Who's Putin?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know it's like they're really strict on that shit there. I know it's one of them. Maybe it's not Russia, it's one of those countries though. Oh yeah, it's Russia. It's Russia. They banned gay marriages.
Yeah.
Putin's real religious, I think.
Oh yeah,
I don't
he's
quite
just
know what.
Since there's a lot of dead air right now. You just heard of sarin gas?
heard of what?
Sound.
Sarin gas.
No. What is that?
But it's the nerve agent they use in Desert Storm. It's pretty fucked. My dad served in Desert Storm and was old piece of it were affected by it to the point where if he eats anything with flour, it flares his skin up like he's being directly introduced to sarin gas.
Fuck.
Wow,
Shit's fucked up.
that's
Call it
insane.
Gulf War syndrome as well.
You know that game Warframe?
Yeah.
There's a character on there called Siren, and I guess their ability is like poisoning, but it's tied into that because the Siren is a what was it? It's a GB. It's part of the G series because it's made
Yep.
by Germans. That's why it's called the G series, like I was explaining last time. But when they introduced that, it was just another accident from them trying to make another insecticide. But the only thing about Siren is that it evaporates quickly, so like that's why they used it a lot in the Iran and Iraqi war because like say anthrax is like something people will use, but it stays dormant for forever as an infinite lifespan. So like at any moment that shit could just come back. It has like no cleanup to it. But with Siren, you could literally just like bomb a place with it, and then the exposure would probably go away within
Yeah.
a year. But Siren's pretty crazy, like you were saying, on the way it affects the skin, and it's just brutal.
Oh, yeah.
So it's perma once you get it, then, right, Nick?
Some cases it can be.
Yeah.
A few of the people my dad served with got it and then ended up getting rid of it somehow. Just kind of growing out of it, I suppose.
Yeah. But then he still gets affected by it because of the weed.
Yeah. Gets really bad rashes to the point where they'll kind of like boils, they'll bust open.
Ooh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes you real sensitive to food too.
Yes.
Kind of like a nerve agent and a blistering agent. Like it's like a 2-for-1.
Yeah. Makes you itch uncontrollably.
To the motherfuckers that started fucking chemical gas warfare, you're a prick.
Oh, shit.
I forget how insane these things are. Just imagining anthrax just
Yeah.
always there. If it gets loose, then it's what he's supposed to do.
I started with us too, dude, because I think they were using like in the 1900s fucking chlorine and shit like that. And then like, I don't know, 1950, I think yeah, phosphine. Just using all
What's
kinds
it?
of fucked up shit.
What's it considered as? Chemical or gas?
Um, Biological, I guess, no.
Be biological
What is it?
Chemical weapons.
warfare.
Biological warfare.
I think that would be like germs, releasing germs and stuff.
But then this is gas.
Oh
So
yeah,
this would be.
it is.
So I was trying to see the first case, but when you said biological, dude, the first one occurred in 1347, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm wrong.
Mongolians, bro. Yeah, dude.
Black plague would be considered that.
There's still cases
What
of the
would?
Black Plague in like Madagascar and shit.
There was a
Oh,
recent case in China.
Uh, yeah, I think it's chemical warfare that we're.
Yeah.
Yeah, forgive my simple high ass.
Oh, you can. Chemical warfare ages back to BC times.
Yeah, the Greeks invented napalm, I heard.
Shut the fuck up, really?
In Greek fire.
Yeah, Greek fire.
Shit's crazy.
You
And
could make napalm with
isn't it
gas and
with
styrofoam.
orange? Isn't it with like oranges though or some shit?
The fuck are you talking about?
Nah, dude, one of the
Oranges
recipes.
do have something like that, yeah. Like a sticky effect.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure orange is. Yeah, orange juice, bro.
oh.
You have death by orange juice now with the napalm. That'd be pretty fucking gnarly. Ooh.
Lucky they banned all this shit.
Huh?
And lucky they banned like all these chemical weapons, dude.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if this image is real or not. This is one of the images I got when I was looking up napalm and orange juice. And, let's just say it's pretty gnarly.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. And then wait, what was the Greek? What was it called? The fire what?
Greek fire.
What the hell is that?
No,
No, I don't know about that. Oh, dude, it's like a fucking flamethrower, bro.
yeah,
Whoa.
they would use it to burn enemy ships.
Greeks on X game modes. That's pretty crazy.
Reminds me of Archimedes' death ray.
What's
Archimedes tried to build a big ass magnifying glass to burn ships.
Shut up, really?
Yeah,
Oh man. Like a telescope? Laser beam?
it was like a big ass mirror, pretty much, just to focus on the one focal point.
Wow.
Just a sunny ass day. He's like, I wish somebody would fucking mess with me today,
What?
bro. It's a good ass day today. I wish somebody would.
He was that kid shining glass lights into people's eyeball.
God, dude. Yo, they got that giant thing of burned ships. We gotta go there when it's raining. Oh, there's some overcast. We're good, bro. Oh, no. The Greeks are pretty awesome, not gonna lie.
Maybe with today's technology, you could probably get away with making it actually function. But why would you do that when we have microwave rays that's already being used in the military?
What? What do you mean? So, like, they just shoot microwave rays and all of a sudden they got cancer?
No, it's like the first one was like supersonic sound, and it would make protesters drop to the ground. Then the second iteration they made, or some shit like that, it would shoot like just a high heat beam at you. I can't fucking remember what it was called though.
That's pretty fucked up, bro. That's like... That's worse. Like, that's some fucked up shit.
It was just it was a proposed weapon against riot control. I mean, yeah, for riot control. Like made your insides feel like they're burning
Damn.
without causing any exterior damage.
Yeah, we're just
I
gonna
first
blast
learned
them with
about this
X-rays.
third grade teacher. The guy was out there teaching his kids about laser beams that the government's making that burn you, but nothing happens.
What? Was this your
He used to,
teacher?
yeah, he served the Vietnam,
That
and now and
figures.
then he'd like tweak and get pissed because we were some bad kids. But he broke meter sticks. You know, we would count throughout the year how many meter sticks he broke over his table. And
Jeez.
one time, passing breakfast, he grabbed an orange and he launched it at one kid and hit him straight in the eye.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm just remembering him first talking about those lasers though.
Jesus Christ! You little bastard! You want to do that again? I got an orange.
I don't know what rabbit hole I went down, but fun fact: the AK-47 Kalashnikov is the weapon that has the most kills.
It's not surprising. Because a lot of the Middle Eastern countries and Africa use that shit. Cartels use that shit. Russia fucking loves that shit.
Kalashnikov designed a good weapon.
I'm
You
still
guys
more
seen
interested about that teacher, bro.
I mean, I don't have too much more to say.
That
I really
shit.
think
I'm
he's
just-
actually a good teacher, but
Shit was funny.
You think he might have treated like expected us to be more adult than we were for our age. He even showed us his scars from knife wounds around his shoulders.
Really? Oh my god, dude. You kids want to be scarred today? I'll fucking show you. Little bastards.
You don't know shit. You never smoked ayahuasca. Fuck do little kids know?
It's too great, dude. Oh my god.
You guys ever heard of Japan's Army Epidemic Prevention Research Laboratory, also
No.
known as Unit 731?
No.
There's gotta look for the name again.
I'm deleting
I'll
that
not
picture.
find the name for now, but there was a surgeon, and the emperor bestowed to him. He asked the emperor for this because he was high rank in the military with pathogens and medicine, a doctor. And with this laboratory, he began doing research on diseases and essentially biological warfare. And it got pretty twisted because they would test using villagers from a nearby place, their own citizens. They would kidnap them and, give them things like syphilis and force them to have intercourse to pass it to keep track of it, and
What the fuck?
vasectomies, which is cutting them open alive so that they could just watch their organs in real time as the disease takes effect so they could see it, and they had all kinds of stuff. And one thing they tried, I know of, involving the United States was they had their plague fleas. They also tested their fleas carrying variations on the bubonic plague that they genetically messed with on these villages to just watch them and see how it naturally, how contagious it was and get their data. So sending them to America, they made, I don't know how many, but a bunch of these little balloons. And I'm going to put you guys the Wikipedia link real quick.
That's fucked. This syphilis part got me fucked up.
Yeah. So they sent a bunch of these little balloons to America. Pretty much all of them failed and just fell into the ocean. But one of them, there was a case, landed in some mountainish area.
Yeah.
A woman and her husband, teachers, and they're on a field trip with kids, and they had stopped, and the husband went for a little trail walk, and he found this contraption, but it was explosive. It's kind of like a grenade. It was meant to explode and send fleas flying all over the place. So, yeah, it killed him with the explosion, but the disease thing, nothing happened. So that's all they achieved on America, but on their own people, it was pretty messed up. And now after World War II,
So all this happened before World War II?
I
Or
don't know my dates really, but it's in this time frame around it, before and after.
it's probably during.
Once they were defeated, America offered this guy a couple $1 million for his research. He couldn't do it
The dude
anymore.
who was doing all that shit to the people on the islands?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
God.
they took it away and they shut him down. You can't do this, and but I don't know exactly why. They paid him and released him on the terms that we get access to all their research, because they were at the same time studying the cures to all these things.
Yeah.
So it was a real catch-22, I guess. And yeah, that's what I know about that story. It's intense.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's just fucking. You see this little abandoned village? Oh, they'll never leave. Let's just go hit them with some fucking tests, bro. Did they
They
do that?
asked the staff like their moral conflicts over it.
Yeah. Did the people have an idea, or they just kind of like did it on the down low?
It was only like the emperor knew. It was government secret. It was that's why I said that name at first. Like it's a friendly name, Army Epidemic Prevention Research Laboratory. Seems
Yeah.
because it's not exactly a lie. They were studying as much cures as new diseases.
That unit's fucked.
Started doing all
I'm
this
gonna
shit
be
too because they
honest. I
started
fucking
noticing.
poked a hole in my ear.
You what? Don't you already have a hole in your ear? That's what a fucking ear is, dude. I'm kidding, bro.
In my ear, in my fucking earlobe, you asshole. Fucker.
That unit you were just talking about, Zay? It's in Call of Duty 3, the zombie map included in the second DLC pack. Is loosely inspired by Unit 731.
Yeah, the T virus making.
You already have an ear.
This fucker is on that. Just the history of chemical warfare is just nasty.
It goes way back before now.
Dirty shit.
Well, just the
Bro,
fact
there was like
you go on.
fucking what was I gonna say? Damn. Oh yeah. Just even like the facility that I was telling you about built in the UK, Portendown. They had like over 200 compounds, but they'll do like some crazy ass tests where they're like try to make people and see if people could outrun fucking gases. Like they literally pay some motherfucking dude who's a good runner, like outrun the arsenic gas. Because the only reason they're testing that too is because when they're doing the arsenic gas test, they noticed that the wind was blowing it towards these villages. So they're like, oh shit. They started realizing let's test this on humans. So then they started paying people. They're like, all right, outrun this shit. See if people could do it. And they just did all kinds of crazy shit, dude. That facility there in the UK is still operating.
Wait, what's it called? What's the facility called?
Portendown, like Porton down.
Okay.
Like they were gonna close this shit down too, like and some real shit. But the only reason they ever kept this was because like in 1917 the Germans started using mustard gas.
Yeah.
So by the time they did what they did with all the mustard gas, but 1920 came and then that's when they passed the bill for Portendown to continue operating. But the bird, that is pretty crazy, dude. They're the one that fucking made VX.
Let's
Sorry.
yeah.
U.S. had a Project 2012. It was testing biological weapons. Mostly aerosols. And apparently mosquito. Fucking drooling over there.
Huh?
You're drooling over there.
What was that Japanese experiment called? Or the dude who did it?
Shihiro. Shiro. Is.
I. Oh, god damn it, I'm lagging. Is that a picture of him?
It's the Wikipedia.
Born in 1892.
What would you guess? Say San Francisco is known for being the gay capital of America, right?
I've heard that.
On September 20th, 1950, a Navy ship just off the coast of San Francisco used a giant hose to spray a cloud of microbes into the air. They were testing how biological weapon attack would affect 800,000 residents of the city.
Bro, you better just put that whole page away that you got there, dog. Are you telling me that you found a thing that made people go gay? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're
I'm
getting
not
at?
saying that. I'm just saying it just says it was used in San Francisco.
Close out of that tab right now, dude. What the Okay, actually, now I'm curious. Keep going. Fuck it.
Navy continued the test for 7 days, potentially causing at least one death. It was one of the first large-scale biological weapon trials that would be conducted under a germ warfare testing program that went on for 20 years, from 1949 to 69.
Wait, so
The goal
one
was
dude died?
yeah, the goal was to deter the use of biological weapons against the U.S. and its allies, and to retaliate if deterrence failed. Fuck me, words. The government explained later, fundamentally to the development of the deterrent strategy was the need for a thorough study and analysis of the vulnerability to overt and covert attack. Of the 239 known tests in the program, San Francisco was notable for 2 reasons, according to Dr. Leonard Cole, who documented the episode in this book. Cole, now the director of the Terror Medicine and Security Program at Rutgers, New Jersey Medical School, tells Business Insider that the incident was notable first because it was really early in the program, but also because of the extraordinary coincidence that took place at Stanford Hospital beginning days after the Army tested its attack. Hospital staff there were shocked at the appearance of patients infected with bacteria. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that.
I love your reading.
That had never been found in the hospital and was rare in this area. That they published an article about it in the medical journal. The patient Edward Neven died after the infection spread to his heart. San Francisco wasn't the first or the last experiment on citizens who hadn't given informal consent. Other experiments involving testing mind-altering drugs on unexpected citizens is one shocking, well-known incident. Government researchers studied the effects of syphilis on Black Americans.
Jesus, dude. Why are they so obsessed with syphilis, bro?
Without informing the men they had the disease, they were told they had bad blood. Researchers withheld treatment after it became visible so they could continue studying the illness despite the devastating and life-threatening implications of doing so for the men and their families. But it was the germ warfare test that Cole focused on. They affected people counted in hundreds at most. He says, but when you talk about exposing millions of people to potential harm by spreading around certain chemicals and biological agents, the quantification or quantity.
Don't worry, Nick. You'll get it.
I'm
one
fucking
day.
retarded.
You'll get it one day, dog. Don't worry.
Everyone in the biological and chemical agents the Army used had been challenged by medical reports. He says, despite the Army's continuing the public hearing, that they'd selected harmless simulations or stimulants.
My balls, dude. That was fucking fucked up.
The military tested how a biological and chemical weapon would spread throughout the country by spraying bacteria, as well as various chemical powders, including especially airplane would take off sometimes near the Canadian border, and they would fly down through the Midwest, dropping their payloads over the city. And it just goes on to say how toxic it was and shit.
Due to technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, now it's doing good. But It was towards like the end of the part that Nick was saying. It kind of cut out, and then whatever you were saying, it sounded like a robot.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah. We might have to do it where two of us record from now on. Which would just be like in case of like somebody's lagging or some shit.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Or if I fucking don't pick up my audio. But I think it's good now. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can.
Now it's good. It was when I was trying to type in human experiments, bro. It just went all fucked up.
They're on to you, dog. You're getting blacklisted.
I probably already am, dude.
Well, I was looking up Illuminati stuff one time, maybe around 9th grade, and my laptop, it was kind of an old one, blue screened on me, and I stayed shook for years. I was always curious.
That's pretty weird. You know, that's pretty weird.
Paranoid watching 2 videos. Seriously.
Huh.
You what?
Bro, like every video would be like, you're not supposed to know this information. Don't tell nobody you know this shit. If somebody finds out that you know about this shit, nah. But regardless, dog, I started thinking about it. I was like, who the fuck am I, dog? Why the fuck do they care? Like, if I know some shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm a normal ass person,
Exactly.
like, you guys are wasting your
Right.
time. It's like when they're watching people through the cameras, dog. It's like, you really want to sit there watching people taking a shit, dog? Because that's the majority of people do when they're on their phone.
Right.
You're gonna sit there watching fucking people with their fucking bare feet on the floor, or you're either gonna fucking have the front-facing camera looking at their face, watching them take a shit. Like, I don't know if they get paid enough to do this shit or what, but that's just...
Bro, what if
how it
you're the
goes.
dude who's watching it and fucking homie's just making a porno, dude? All you see is his face.
Vinegar strokes.
If they really are watching, dude, they probably see some fucked up shit, bro.
That's crazy though, like, not even do they watch us, but the CIA and the FBI, like, watch each other.
The trust
There's
issues
even like
are real.
Huh.
yeah, there's a wire between them too. Like, I don't know, there's a big old rabbit hole going in between those two too.
Maybe one
They
of
have
them
double agents.
for each other?
Yeah, they've found double agents for each other.
That's weird.
There's just and it's weird, it's strange, because there's just like a history of what the hell's that shit called, where you dress up with like dresses and wigs and shit.
Cosplay.
No, yeah, I guess cosplayer, but I think it's drag too. But like a lot of these fucking dudes in the government would end up like being into that, and they would end up like blackmailing each other with it. That would be like the main thing.
It's fucking dumb, dude. It's fucking weird, though.
I'll say this: if they ever want to look at my the FBI and shit, ever want to look at my web history, by all means, go right ahead.
All I heard was
They might get
jail
more than they're
time to
asking for.
Nick. Jail time to Nick. You're on a fucking list, bro.
I think I've heard similar to what Isaiah was talking about, like dressing up like that for blackmail. But things like that being an initiation process, just for that reason. Well, another thing is just for like the human psychology of knowing who your superiors are. you're some billionaire or something, and you get into the whatever it is. They get this blackmail on you first, just so that you know that you're still not a top guy, and also you're not gonna go release this information because your rep's at risk.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Damn.
And that's what they would do with these human experiments too, like with the chemical, and it was all part of a contract because they would do it with little kids too. Like they would include experiments on little kids with syphilis and everything that I was telling you about. But they would involve these grown men with these little kids in like weird stuff or
Yeah.
whatever, and that would pretty much be the blackmail to get the approval to keep doing it. Because there was no laws against human experimentation back then. That's when they first started making bills about it. And
Yep.
if there's no legislation against it, they're just gonna keep doing it and try to get more funding for it. The government just is, it's not even the government, it's like not one specific thing. I mean it's not one general thing, it's like one specific thing. I mean there's certain departments that are shady, there's some that are good.
Yeah.
I don't
I
believe it's
think,
the whole thing.
yeah, that's like confusing for a lot of people, I imagine. Like even myself, you just get used to hearing the one word government, and I think just naturally you personify this one thing. But it's like Dylan said about the FBI and what what is it, CIA? It's just so divided. It's this amalgam of pieces and parts that's helping itself here and destroying its own self there, and it's confusing and hard to follow. So I don't even know what's true.
Just all over the world too, like even in Russia, like the KGB, the FSB, the FSR, like just how a lot of them are against each other. I mean, that just goes to show like how paranoid everybody is about everything.
Yeah,
I
Oh
feel
yeah, and
like
then the GRU.
I don't know. I feel like it's just better to keep people divided. Like, if you got shady shit you're doing, dude, you don't want all the people to be united. Because then that shit's gonna get fucking bamboozled. you know? I don't know. At least that's how I feel about it. Like with,
are you saying there's like something behind the mess that's
I,
using the mess as a disguise?
I feel like there is. Like, I'm totally all aboard that conspiracy theory. Because it's like, the blackmail,
I thought it was
like,
bullshit at first, bro.
so did I,
Like,
but the more that I like go on day to day, let's look at like the whole race thing. Like, so that's dividing people, and the more that you emphasize on it, it divides people even more. Like when you say, um,
black-owned
white,
business, support
yeah,
black-owned businesses.
yeah, even
Hey, bro,
that,
I don't give a fuck who the fuck. I could give a fuck if you're purple, dog. Like, if you're
yeah,
just struggling, I'll support you.
Yep.
or like how the news will say white guy shoots black guy. Like, right there, you're already putting this division. Why can't you just say this guy shot this guy? Like, why do you gotta throw color or race in it? Because you're already dividing it. And it's kind of like, probably gonna regret these words, but it's like religion as well. Like, it divides people. Like, I don't know. I feel like
But
you
I don't know if things like that really. I don't know. I'm not like saying I'm like a religious figure speaking up for it, but it's like just any choice you do always creates an opposition. It's like even like this motherfucker over here likes the Lakers, but this dude likes the Clippers, and he's like, people are like, oh that shit sucks, no no no. Like people are always gonna take sides, with, like different shit.
true. It is true. It's just like human nature.
Sports always interest me for that reason. When you see like the big time fans, which is like, family and friends, everybody,
I feel like,
just how intense they get to it. And you
yeah,
remember that it's just this made up, organized thing, the amount of, emotional investment and money too. You know, people go hard on their money when they're really into it, and that's it's strange that a person is in, like, yeah, conflict. I don't know, instinct, or I guess it has to be.
Human nature to feel like, what's the word for it? For a human to feel special, but at the same time to feel that they're not alone. Like they want to be the odd one out, but they still want
Also, don't want to be
to not
alone.
feel that they're alone. Yeah.
Damn. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Humans are interesting.
that's so confusing. The polarity of that.
Like those assholes that say they hate everybody, but yet they want to secretly they're lonely, and then the person that's like cool with everybody, like they just want to kick it by themselves sometimes.
Right.
Like they're content with like they have their fill, like they have enough interaction to where they could be alone. It's like as it's paid off.
You know, like introversion and extroversion. What would you guys consider yourselves?
What do you mean?
Intro.
What do you mean by intro and extro?
Introvert.
Oh, like
Extrovert.
intro,
100%.
like stays inside, and then extrovert likes to be out.
Your own definition of it for now. That's fine.
Kind of like both of them.
Ambivert, I think. Yeah, it's
But
you say.
I guess when I really think about it, I'd rather have a cabin out in the woods away from everybody.
Has its ups and downs. It's just everything.
That is true. Like,
Right.
some people more than others, you know?
Well, in psychology, it's like if you're talking about personality, especially personality that someone's born with, completely instinctual. What seems to be currently our most solid model are the big five personality traits. One of them is extroversion. And so somewhere on that meter, like 1 out of 100 people, you're at rank 50, which would be like what you guys are saying, you fall anywhere on there. And one way I've heard it explained is psychic energy. Uh, the extrovert is external objects, you know, you interact with sensory stimuli. And that's kind of the world you live in.
Yeah.
If you're introvert, you're more in your own head. So when you even see the physical world, it's more like you twist it into, I mean, really the fantasy part of your mind, and it becomes this more inner thing. So it's kind of like romanticizing or seeing things as symbolic, or and but one thing for sure is that if you spend a lot of time, you start like angsty, and you just want to be around people, sit and simmer, and you know that's when the psyche has to go to the other side and recover.
Kind of weird, like when humans talk about humans, like 'cause then there's like those oddballs too. Like there's a 1 in a million. So they're like complete opposite. I don't know. It's just crazy.
I always found countries weird. Because you got one
Because
where...
like the
Huh?
oh no, go on. Sorry.
No, I always found countries weird because you always got the one side of people talking shit about the other side, and it's just like... It baffles me, bro. Like...
Well, it's like it goes to even over the stupidest things. Even with like gangs, the reason why they fight with each other over the stupidest shit. I'm not saying like the shit that goes down between them isn't real, but like even like the littlest shit, there's a lot of dumb shit that happen even over like fighting over a chick. There's a reason why a lot of shit goes down, but even throughout history too, a lot of wars over dumb shit.
Yo, his name's spelt different. We're going to war with them. Let's get it.
think it always originates with the individual too, which means it's a mental thing. It's, like a projection. They say bullies bully kids because they're bullied and such. You're always projecting, you hate something. If you hate anything, it probably means that you're really insecure about something about that being within you. I think that people are incredibly defensive about the kind of persona they cling on to. And in order for it to exist stably, they have to see something that it's not so that they can draw a clear line between themselves. Otherwise, they're just nothing special and they don't really have a grasp of their identity. And I imagine it's kind of a universal thing. People have gone through this state where they wonder, who am I? And if you don't kind of start figuring out what your interests are and everything, you feel kind of like a nobody or a loser or whatever. But some people get extreme, and especially when you have like groups, because if you have another person supporting your idea, you emphasize it even more because you found this other confirmation. So you're no longer as doubtful of yourself. And when you have more and more, it gets to like a rally. And have you guys ever read that book, Lord of the Flies in school?
Yep.
It's just kids being left on an island and kind of seeing how it shapes out. In the end, one guy kind of ends up converting them all to his little gang, and spoilers, they go wild stabbing this other kid to death. It's just kind of like a point about mob think.
Yeah.
Well, imagine those weird combinations of people that haven't been documented. Like, how come they never make a movie about some dude that just doesn't give a shit? Like, say he robs a drug dealer, and then the drug dealer is always threatening to kill his family. No, no, no. Why don't they make one about the dude, like, he literally just doesn't give a shit? He's like, he doesn't give a shit that they have his family. He doesn't give a shit about this. He doesn't give about that. Like, just the whole spectrum of how everybody could be.
A movie.
Not even a movie. It's just like, even there's people out there that just like, they really don't give a shit about anything and just are so. Well, you can't judge anybody either. That's what I'm trying to get at too. Is like, there's just too many random combinations of people that aren't documented.
Right.
It's just kind of, yeah, kind of crazy. Like, when even talking about humans, when you're saying, oh, these people act like this and that, but then it makes another group of people who feel like, oh, you're talking about this, but that's not how we really are, and then it just keeps going on like the cycle
And
and
it's
just
just
creates a whole spectrum. Yeah, and it keeps going down a big old rabbit hole. Like, even me speaking like that too, like, people are
that
gonna speak
even
against
is
it. Or,
leading into one.
yeah, even saying like people this, people that, like, even saying that shit, just like, you can't. It's like, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of sense to it. I'm someone who would say you are not your thoughts, and that like the genuine self isn't really anything we can perceive. And one thing a human is just this continual moving parts that, it exists only in the present. It only kind of experiences the past, and the future's imaginary. But yeah, my point is that there isn't one thing that a person is. It's just infinite
Yeah,
potential.
exactly. It's fascinating. Exactly. You got it.
Stars in the universe because it's infinite and keeps going. So in a
Just all
way,
the
are we infinite?
possibilities. That's a tough one. I don't know.
When you think about it, your thoughts, they're infinite. They keep going. Would they be infinite if you die? Would they keep going?
You guys familiar with any religious like backgrounds? Have your own knowledge base? Because I feel like that's kind of what we're entering into at this point.
I know a little bit about
Um,
paganism.
That's fine.
and then I remember what you guys were talking about. I think the second episode, You guys were talking about the Horus
Yeah.
eye. Horus, he was like a god. He was like, you know, that eagle. He has like the head of an
Oh,
eagle and the body of a man. He's like
Isn't it
supposed to be
Set
wise.
or Ra?
Oh yeah, I think it's actually Ra. I think Horus is
they're
the
the
eye of
same in a
Horus.
way.
Set and Ra?
Ra and Horus.
I just I poked it, dude. I got the hole through my ear. Let's go. Okay, sorry to cut you off.
That was the power of Ra.
Yeah, Horus.
I hate you, Quinn. That was a good one, but dumb as fuck. Oh shit, Quinn.
So Ra is the right eye and Horus is his left eye. You guys seen the eye of Horus?
That's like the main eye, right?
I mean, fire, water, and like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about that then.
And some people say that that's what the pineal gland looks like when it's cut in half, but I don't believe in all the fucking shit about the third eye and all
You
that,
don't
honestly.
believe in that shit?
Nah. Honestly, what I believe it was, it's like, you know, I think iguanas, I don't know, I'm not too sure, like some reptiles or some type of lizard, they have holes in the middle of their head and it's for detecting heat. And I was reading this article where it said that's pretty much what we used to have at one point, but ours just closed. So that part of the body does produce DMT, but so does so,
Imagine if we did. Wait, but then where's the
every
socket,
living thing
bro?
produces DMT. Let me see if I can find the article.
What is the third eye to you?
I feel like it's like a higher plane. Like you know how we see in what third person? I feel like if you have your fourth D, but not exactly like that. I feel like it'd be more of like a spiritual way. But then I don't know. Now I'm kind of questioning everything.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I believe in spirituality because it's like religion. Because like it's hard for me to believe in ghosts. Because like honestly, for me, I don't believe in ghosts worth a shit. Like I do not give a shit at all. Like I've heard shit. I really don't give a shit. Like honestly, dude, even at my job, even just for like a quick little story, I hear shit or whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, if you're a ghost, you're an old ass motherfucking dude hanging out in a motherfucking building. Is like I don't know what the fuck you're doing, dog. Even if that's the reality of it, it's like I kind of don't give a shit. But at the same time, it's like when I do prayer, it's like you say, and then the Holy Spirit. So obviously, it's a Holy Spirit. So I don't know, I go back and forth with it. Because I do believe in science, but I do believe in religion. And like the two, I've researched both enough to make them intertwine. Like, I don't think they really, sometimes they do go against each other, but I've done enough to where I do see where they correlate. But honestly, I just don't, like, I do believe in higher planes and shit. It's just kind of skeptical about the third eye.
I see. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big question.
There's everything that people believe in, like the seven chakras.
I always thought that was interesting. Always thought the chakra thing was interesting. I never got like into it.
Let's bring in something to mind. I don't know which chakra it is, but on the Kabbalah, which is a Jewish diagram. Well, there's the Kabbalistic tree of life. The tree of life is meant to kind of represent everything, and it's a handful of symbols. And so when one of them is Tifera, it's called on the Kabbalah, I don't know about her though, is what would be considered being related to Christ consciousness. It's because this derives from the Jewish tradition first. And Christ consciousness, I mean, that's a very tough thing to put words to. I think it's left to the individual to grasp on their own meaning. But it's, I mean, it's essentially what the story of Christ would have been to portray, you know, for you to become that kind of individual. And that might be like associated with opening a third eye, recognizing reality on another level.
Yeah.
I think that correlates with like the Egyptian eye too. It has a lot to do with just being aware, paying attention, prayer. And I think, well, prayer to me is a ritual. And I think ritual behavior is something that is a human nature, and we do it in so many ways. But when you direct it towards something like, I know a lot of Buddhist monks meditate on a mandala. It's similar to praying, but it gets you, it separates you from outside information, forces you to just kind of be with yourself. And I think that's an essential part to cultivating compared to a third eye.
See, I never thought about it like that. Now I'm gonna be in my fucking bed tonight, just fucking rethinking everything. Like,
I'll get
honestly.
this, like, even like the way I was saying about the lizards, it was a parietal eye, the third eye, is like some fish have it, like amphibians, reptiles, but it's like uh associated with the pineal gland. It regulates the circadian rhythm like the way it does for us, but for them, it's like for hormone production and like thermal regulation, like for heat. Like they could pretty much see like the way snakes can, the way they
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they're just like thermal. But that's kind of what they kind of believe what the third eye is, kind of too. But we're not amphibian, we're not reptilian. I mean, some people fucking are. You never know, dog.
This motherfucker.
But imagine though being able to. That's all true. Seen in the fourth dimension and going to a higher plane.
But then, like your whole perspective would be changed because when you think about it, if you're looking at 2D, you couldn't see half or even more than what you can in the 3D. So like imagine if you were to see in the 4D, like your perspective on so much would be changed and it would probably make so much more sense if you were on like the fourth dimension. And I wonder if that's infinite. Like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. I'm
No,
trying
Horus
to do
is the left.
it. Hmm?
Horus is the left.
What, the left eye?
Yeah.
And then what, Ra's the right?
Yeah.
These are the eyes of Osiris.
So does that Osiris have 3 eyes then?
Ooh, see, that's the type of weird fucking questions you gotta ask. It's like, where's your fucking third eye, homie? What the fuck?
Or does he have one and it's just covered? Because it might be a higher spiritual plane. Maybe that's what the third eye is just seeing in a different perspective. Maybe it's not even like supposed to be literal.
In Buddhism, they have what they call wisdom eyes. And that's one of the first steps of kind of cultivating your mind for them. Sit down, meditate, and cultivate your wisdom eyes. And before you do that, you can't trace your own karma, kind of.
Do you guys believe in reincarnation?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck to believe in, dog.
I always think reincarnation is interesting. So, I don't remember this, but when I was a little kid, my mom, she would tell me that I would wake up from nightmares, and this is when I was like really fucking little, and I would be like explaining like it's snowy, I'm in a trench with other soldiers, and I'm saying what artillery, like I'm over here like artillery, like any of this like war shit, and just like I would say that like we were holding like the line and I got hit by him or this and all, but she's like straight up like, yeah, you would wake up in like nightmares and like freak out and say the artillery.
That's interesting.
But then like even kind of talking about it, I feel like I can imagine and see the scenery like the older that I get. Like you know how you have a memory? It's almost like I can see them. Building up an imagination. Who the fuck knows?
I don't know. That's really neat, though. And you say as you get older, it feels more real?
Yeah, it feels like. Because the first time she told me, I was in high school. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, one day we were talking about it, and I was like, I could, like, visualize it. And, like, this was, like, after I took, like, a fuck ton of mushrooms and acid and all this shit. But I could definitely visualize it. I don't know. It's weird shit. The world is weird. Life is weird. Being here, breathing. And the more questions that you solve only opens up more questions to be asked, I feel like. Fuck this.
I'm just overthinking it.
Who are you?
Yeah.
You're over here, like, thinking about it. So am I. Kind of like. I don't know.
Over to this shit.
Yeah, dude. Fucking chemical warfare to the enlightenment of your third eye, bro. I fucking love it. I started this shit thinking about Russia, and now I'm like, fuck, dude. What am I?
Bro, the protests and fucking, I think, Hong Kong, or because they put up these new surveillance things where they're trying to make electronic IDs for everybody,
Yeah.
so they can scan your face and they can know who you are, what you do, whatever. And there's people that are like painting their face with like, these weird patterns to throw the cameras off. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of scary at the same time that they're doing that though, because there's technology out there that could listen to us exactly. They could pinpoint us and they could listen wherever in the fudge in the world.
Either of you ever seen the show Psychopaths? Animation?
No.
No.
It's just similar to what Isaiah's saying. It's just a city that has gone to that point where they have that surveillance and scanning, and everyone has what they call a psychopath, which is kind of like a measurement of your psychological well-being. So you might, like, walking through a metal detector at an airport will also scan your psychopaths. And if you get into like a cloudy area, you have to go to therapy and stuff. And if you're not making progress, you kind of just disappear.
What is it, anime or animation?
Anime.
Sounds interesting. I might have to check it out. Been really hooked on fucking Berserk. Which, if you guys haven't seen that, you should really watch it.
Berserk.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Um, it's pretty much about
You ever
this.
play Dark Souls?
Nah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much
Dark
about
Souls is
this.
heavily inspired.
Is
Oh.
all
Yeah.
he knows is just fighting and fighting and fighting and never backing down. Then eventually he becomes friends with this dude. Let's just say it takes a real sour turn. I'm not gonna explain anything, but it gets fucking brutal and it's pretty amazing.
Check that out. Definitely.
Yeah, cause like so like
Check out Doctor Stone.
Doctor's Doom Stone.
Doctor Stone.
Okay. Yeah, it's cool because like in the beginning of it, he's like he doesn't have a dream. Like the dude just is just coasting. He doesn't know what the fuck he wants. Then eventually he finds out what he wants, and then that's when life starts getting really tough and fucked up for him, which is interesting. Dr. Stone. I'll have to check that out after this. Alright guys, should we outro out this bitch?
It's up to you. Save space stuff for next week.
Yeah.
And that was this week's episode, right?
Yeah, it'd be
How we
this
gonna end
week's.
it?
And then we'll do Friday as well.
Okay.
So yeah, this is this week's episode for the Outer World podcast, and we'll be back on Friday. Hopefully, no technical difficulties.
I the fucking IT department.